Hey everybody, welcome to a Cricut craft tutorial. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make gift tags that you can use for all sorts of occasions. These ones I'll design are going to be for Christmas. So we're going to do this and it's super fun and super easy. So the first thing that we're going to start with is a shape. You can use any shape that you like. I'm just going to use a circle. And all I'm going to do is make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see this. This will not be the final size of our circle, so don't worry. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a cool little cutout down here that's going to have a design in it. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this, but I'm just going to use a shape. I'm going to make it, let's do a star cutout. So all we're going to do is I'm going to make my star kind of a little bit bigger. And I want to leave space up here because I'm going to show you guys how you can write to and from on your tag. So we're going to slice out the star. So we're going to select our star and hold the control button on your keyboard and then click the big circle, and that's how you can select both items. And you're going to come over here to the lower right hand corner and select slice. So we're going to get rid of these two stars because we don't need them, because this is the open space that we are going to play with. We're going to actually do a really cute design in this star so that when it cuts it out, it's going to have like a neat little shape or design in it. So the first thing I'm going to do is check in Cricut's design space and see what I have that's free right now, because I don't have access. It's just a personal choice for me, but I just don't use it, and so I don't really want to pay for it. But I do like to look and see if we have things that are free. Like this snowflake is really cool. We might use him. I actually think let's use that snowflake because I think that'll be really fun inside the star. So we're going to insert the image, and all it's going to do is put the image in here for us. Now what I want to do is size it down so that it fits inside the star to a point. I say this because we don't want it to be too small like this, because then it'll fall out. You want it to be big enough that it touches the edges of your star, and I like to have it touch on all sides. So what I'll do is kind of play with it and make it a little bit bigger and move it around a bit so that it does touch on all sides, and you just need it to overlap a little bit. It doesn't have to be too crazy. And then we're going to use the weld feature, and I see a lot of people tell people to weld their projects. The weld is only used if you want to remove cut lines or make two pieces into one. So we're going to make two pieces into one. So we're going to make sure we select our snowflake and select our circle just like we did before, but instead of slice, we're going to use weld. And what that's going to do is it makes the snowflake now part of our design. So you'll see it's all one piece. I'm going to change the color on this so that we can see a little bit better. We're just going to use this honeysuckle so it's a little easier to see. And I wanted to actually have a little circle up here so that we can put like a string through it. So all we're going to do is open a shape, and we're just going to use another circle and just use a small circle. And you can make it a little bit bigger if you want a little easier time, but just sort of place it somewhere about where you want to put the string. And you're going to do like how we did the star. Select your little circle, select your big circle, and slice. And it's going to pull out two circles. We don't need these, so we can just get rid of them. This is just for where you're going to put your string. Now we're going to add some text. We're just going to do to and from. And I'm just going to size this down a little bit so that it fits. And then you can change your font. If you want it to be a single line font, you would need a writing font from Cricut. I don't have any of the writing fonts. I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to find something that will look cute, and even if it does have a little bit of an outline, I'm okay with that. But if you want to see how it looks when you go to write it, just select write, and I have the 0.4 tip, so select that. And this is what it'll look like when it writes it. And you can unlock it and stretch it if you want so that it looks a little bit different. But we can change the font into anything we really want it to be. So if you want it to look a little bit more childlike, however you guys want to do this. The thicker fonts like this will have more of a bubble letter look, and I'll show you that. So when you go to write it, see how it gives you the bubble letters? The thick fonts will look more bubbly than the skinnier stuff. So I usually tend to do a skinnier font when I'm doing stuff like this. But you guys, this is all just sort of a personal preference as to how you want your design to look. So I'm just going to find a thinnish font, and we're going to just use something that's easy to read. We'll just use this. I'm going to spread it out a little bit, and then we're going to change it to write. So as you can see, we have all of this pretty much done. But you want to make sure that you have enough space to write your to and your from. So you can move this around a little bit so that it's a little bit small, or it's a little more to the side. And we need to size this down because this is really big, and I don't think we need an 8-inch circle. So I'm going to do about, I would say like a 5-inch circle, maybe a little bit less. And I'm going to show you something. We're going to go ahead and select them both again. And you want to make sure that you attach them, because what that's going to do is hold your to and from in the space that you want them on your circle. So all you would do is select both items, go down here and select attach. I'm going to go ahead and click make it, and it'll show you your design. Now it's kind of hard to see just because of the color that I chose with the writing font, but I'm just going to pick any color cardstock I have that's sort of a random extra piece. And I'm going to show you guys what this will look like and how we're going to load our pen and how it's going to cut it out. And it's going to be a really fun item that you guys can use on birthday packages and Christmas packages. So we're going to hit continue, and I want to show you what the screen does, because the screen opens up and it'll show you. So sorry, my machine was off. Let's turn that back on. You can turn your machine off when you're not using it and still design, just in case anybody's wondering. Sorry about all the noise. It's the machine starting up. But it's going to show you, if you look right here, tells you to load your mat into your clamp A, or your pen into clamp A, and then it tells you that you make sure that your fine point blade is in clamp B. So we'll make sure that everything is in, and I'm going to show you guys how to load your pen in, and then we're going to make our tag. So we're ready to put our pen in. We're just using a black Cricut pen. You guys can use any color that you want depending on what color you're using. So it tells you to load it into clamp A. So clamp A is this one. You're going to open it. You're going to take your pen. Doesn't matter which direction it's facing, but you're just going to push it down. I always put my thumb down here and the tip of my finger up here on top of the pen. Just helps it clamp in better, and then make sure that you close your clamp because it's going to hold the pen tight. Whoops, so sorry, wrong way. And now we're going to go ahead and load our cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and make sure my settings are set to light cardstock. And then we're going to put in our paper. The first thing that it's going to do is write. So we're going to go ahead and press go. And you'll see it's going to write out our to and from. And again, it is a bubble letter because we are not using a writing font, but it is a thin font, so it should fill in pretty nicely. And then I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit here so that you can see. Let me angle you down a bit. And now it's going to cut out our star snowflake. There's so many things that you can do with these tags. You can put people's names if you wanted to. Slicing them, you would just need, just like with the snowflake, make sure that it's touching on two sides so that it doesn't cut the whole thing completely out. You can do these for birthdays with balloons or whatever kind of design you want. You can get as creative as you want with these, and they're really fun. They just give your gifts that little special extra something that you'll stand out from the crowd, which is always fun. And as a crafter, we always like to be just a little bit extra, don't we? So I did make this very, very large. Typically, you're not going to make your design this big. So let me get this unloaded and I'll take it off the mat and we can show you how it looks. Pulled it off of my mat and this is how it looks. I just have a darker piece of cardstock behind it so it's easier for you guys to see this cutout. And I think it came out really, really pretty. Here's the to from. I'm going to get you nice and close to it so that you can see that it's not totally bubbly because of the font I used. It was so tight. And the marker bled a little bit on the cardstock because it's a little bit of a textured. But I think it came out really, really nice. Like I said, you guys can do these for all sorts of events. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. I'm always happy to answer your questions. I make these tutorials because you guys request them. So if you have any requests, let me know below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and have a great day.